Hey, it's Brewzer FPV. I just want a second of your time to talk to you about a Facebook group that we started up. It's called Bristol FPV Adventurers. If you're in the Bristol area or somewhere nearby, Bath, or somewhere that's easily accessible, then go ahead and check it out. It's a closed group, but apply, and I'm sure you'll be accepted if you're within a close enough proximity. And we're hoping to do a lot of meetups and just get out there and fly. Anything from racing to just freestyles, and part of the sort of heart of the group is the whole adventure of going out and flying your drone. So, looking on Google Maps to find a really cool spot or a bando, and then planning it and then getting out there and doing it. And if you like making content, then brilliant. We're really supportive of that, and we hope to sort of share and like everyone's videos and just help promote each other. So if that sounds interesting to you, then go ahead and check it out in the link in the description. I'm going to go and chuck it over now to the video. Thanks. Hey guys, it's Brewzer FPV, and I want to show you guys the sort of finished product of my Diatone R249 Plus project. So here she is in all her glory. Um, I'm really surprised that I actually managed to piece this thing together as the parts started to turn up, and realizing how small it is and how complicated these things are. It was a daunting task, but I just stuck at it. I got a lot of help from people in the community, so thank you all if you helped out. I really do appreciate it. Um, it's not perfect, I'll be honest. It's got a few issues. The biggest issue right now is probably, well, it's a toss-up between two, really. So first of all, it oscillates pretty badly. Not unflyable, but it certainly is not as enjoyable as if it wasn't. Believe that or not. So it turns great. It's got really good speed, handles well. It's just the oscillation making the camera a bit stuttery whenever I sort of throttle up. So that's something I'd like to try and fix. I believe it can be tuned out, but I just don't really know what I'm doing. I've tried a few tunes that other people have available online, and probably about 4 or 5, and I'm sticking to this one. It's still not perfect, but it will do for now. The other issue is, well, there's a couple a couple more issues actually. So first of all, I can't get the IRC tramp protocol to work within my goggles. So you should be able to use your Tyrannus to like press up on the pitch and left on the yaw, and it should bring up like an OSD from Betaflight, and you can change your like VTX settings and your band and channel and things like that. But I can't get mine to work. It could be um, connected to the other issue that I don't have any Betaflight OSD in my goggles. So normally, when you power or arm your quad, you get like the arm writing come up in the middle, and you get your voltage and stuff like that. I'm not getting anything. The only OSD that I see on there is from the RunCam Swift itself. So I'm a little bit confused. I'm hoping that someone out there can help me, and what I'm going to do is later on in this video I'm going to go into real detail about how I've wired this thing up and show you exactly where all the points go to, do some diagrams, and just make it simple for you guys to understand, so someone can hopefully give me a bit of their time and help me get this thing sorted, because that would be really nice if I could do that. What else? Yeah, I mean, I think that probably about covers the sort of flaws of it. Other than that, what an amazing quad. It's stunning, isn't it? Just look at it. I might put some better pictures up on the screen because I know this camera's not the best, but yeah, it's hello test. Oh, I think I cut out there. So yeah, it's a great looking quad. It's a lot of fun to fly. Um, I think what I'll do now is I'll show you some flight footage that I did. This is in 2 locations, one of which is just outside my house on a field, and the other is my usual spot where I just wanted to test the VTX because I managed to get it on 200 200 milliwatt power by using the CLI command line and doing it that way. So yeah, I wanted to test the sort of penetration through some trees, and it looked okay. But there's a lot of dog walkers, and I had to leave before I really wanted to. But yeah, I'll put the footage up now, and then after the footage, I'll go into some more detail about how this thing is put together. But cool, there we are. Bye. Alright, no music this time, guys. I'm just going to do a little commentary for this one. So we're on 25 milliwatts because at this point I didn't know how to unlock my VTX to do 200. So anyway, this is 25. This is also on a older tune and it's less vibraty than this, and the video feed's a little bit clearer now because it was getting a lot of breakup, which you'll see whenever I throttle out or fly further away. The vibration doesn't look as bad, but right now I'm flying it around me because I can definitely hear some oscillating, and I'm just trying to get an idea of what it could possibly be. I don't have the skills yet to know by sound what the issue is or what I need to adjust to fix that. So I'm hoping that based on some of the information you're going to see later on, that you might be able to help me get this thing tuned nicely. But had a lot of fun flying here in this field. It's right next to my house, so it's just perfect and ideal to come out for a quick session. Flight time wise, I'm probably getting like at least 4 minutes, probably a little bit more, but because I don't have OSD to see the voltage, it's it's not something I want to risk by pushing too much. OSD wise, you can see that I've only seen the run cam. That's a cool shot right there, by the way, of the houses. But yeah, I'm only seeing the run cam footage. We got a timer and I'm not sure what that is, a voltage meter. I guess it's receiving 5 volts. That would be my guess. But yeah, this was just a quick little flight, nothing too crazy. I haven't flown in a long time, so this is like, my first time on the sticks for probably at least 3 or 4 weeks, to be honest. So very long time. Missed a lot of good weather, which I'm kind of gutted about, but hey, what can you do? Yeah, so this is pretty much the end of the flight now. Just checking again for the sound. Kind of bummed out a little bit here that it's not perfect, but you can't imagine or expect to build something and it'd be perfect straight away. You got to put some effort in to get it dialed in, and there we go. So I'll just let this run to the end. Alright, so let's just start off by showing you how I have the Betaflight set up. So I'm going to connect to the quad, and moving it around, it all moves fine. That's great. It's at a bit of an angle, so that's why it's showing like that. Onto the ports tab. So this was set as default like that. I left that. UART1, I have serial RX. That was the default as well, and obviously it's flying, so the controls are bound and connected and working fine. UART3 is where I have VTX IRC tramp selected. Everything else is left disabled. This is UART3. The IRC tramp wire on the quad is connected to TX3. So I believe that is the correct UART for that. Okay, let's move on. Configuration, so D-Shot 600, motor idle, throttle 3, that seems fine. Gyro 4 kilohertz, 8 and 4 for the PID loop frequency. Got the receiver, the correct one. S-bus, that's all right. Air mode, I think that's all right. So I don't know if telemetry should be on. I have tried it with telemetry on and it didn't make any difference. But yeah, let me know if that needs to be turned on or not. OLED screen display, I'm not sure if that needs to be turned on. Not sure what that means, so let me know if that needs to be on. And that's what I've got. Power and battery. If you want to stay longer on these ones, then obviously you can pause it. Fail-safe stuff. My PIDs. Again, you can just pause it if you want to spend more time on here. Huh, okay. Looks like Betaflight has frozen up, so disconnect. Okay, so we've got PIDs, receiver. This is all working. Just have arm and beeper. Flip over after crash. This stuff I didn't mess with. I just got a dump file from someone that had this quad and just sort of used it. OSD. See, I don't see any of this Betaflight. I don't see any of this stuff here. So if you could tell me what's going on, that would be great. Sensors. Okay, so that's everything on Betaflight. Let's go ahead and show you how I've got this thing wired up now. Okay, so it might be wise to start with the camera and the VTX since they are kind of at the source of this problem, I believe. The way they're connected is the TX200 VTX piggybacks off of the RunCam in the build. So what happens is if I go over to the RunCam TX200U here, you can see when you're looking at the left board picture, because this is the back of it, this 3-pin port connector with the red, black, and yellow plugs directly into the back of the camera, which is the 5-volt ground and video. That leaves 3 ports left on the camera and 3 cables left on the VTX. So the green cable here is the IRC tramp cable, and I have that connected to the board on TX3, which I'll show you in a moment, where everything's connected. The red and black power cable here I have wired to the flight controller as well. So that's plugged in locations that I will show you later. And that's all of the cables then for the VTX being used. Okay. So let's just show you the flight controller. So this is my flight controller. Let me zoom in a bit, maybe not that much. So this is the front of it here. Sorry, maybe I should get my paintbrush up. We don't want it that big. Let's make it a nice, easy to see color. Yeah, that'll do. Okay, so this is the front. This is facing the front, and then on the left side here, this is where a lot of the cables are plugged in. So I have the 5-volt here and the ground here are powering the VTX and the camera. Obviously the camera is getting its power piggybacking off of the VTX, so this is going to the VTX. Now TX3, this is the green cable in the diagram earlier, and this is for IRC tramp. And then this video one is left blank because there's no other cables left to remember from the VTX. And over here we have the for the receiver. So this is the ports for the receiver. So I've got ground and 5 volts going to the RXSR, and then S bus. So those are the 3 cables used for the RXSR. Okay. What else is there connected? I think that is all of the connections on here. So based on this and based on what you've seen on my Betaflight setup, I'm not sure what else to do because there's no cables free from the camera to the VTX. So if I bring up that image again of the camera, the only ones that we've got left here are VBAT plus, ground, and OSD. And based on this image, ground and OSD go to this OSD key press board which came with it. So I'm not too sure what that's all about. If someone could please try and explain to me what I've done wrong here, it'd be amazing. Just to show you a bit more information here. So this is showing an example plugging in the IRC tramp green cable into TX4. In my case, it's on TX3, but you can see here that they've got IRC tramp enabled here under peripherals on UART4. Mine's on UART3, under peripherals it's the same. My serial RX is actually on UART1, but this is just a diagram. This is not specific to my build. But what I should be able to do then is use these controls to bring up the Betaflight OSD and change my VTX settings, which I can't do. I'm not sure if it's a case of me, do I need to update the firmware on my Tyrannus? Do I need to do something with my receiver? Is it an issue with the board? I just don't have a clue. A lot of people keep telling me that there needs to be some cables running from the camera to the flight controller, but I'm not sure how I can do that. Cool, so there we have it. I hope that made sense to someone because I probably didn't do the best job of explaining it, but I've shown you everything I really can. If there's anything that you can suggest for me to try, I would be really appreciative. Either in regards to the tune or in regards to the OSD issue and the IRC tramp issue. Any of those would be great if I could get them solved. But that's it for me, guys, and I will see you guys in the next video, which will hopefully be back to a sort of vlog style video, since that's what I enjoy doing the most. And anyway, yeah, sorry, that's it for me, guys. I'll catch you guys in the next vid.